Have.
Hello, welcome to College Cash, the podcast that's keeping cash in your pocket during your educational journey. And I am Money Michelle. My goal is to navigate you to nuggets of information worth thousands of dollars. I hope y'all are doing really well this Saturday morning, afternoon, depending on what time you got up. I know my sister just got up, so I guess it's good morning to her. But for those of you who know that you made that November 1st deadline, yay! I am super, super proud of you. There are students already getting their acceptance letters in. Now, financial aid packages, that might be a different story because, of course, FAFSA isn't exactly out yet. But congratulations to those of you who did make that November 1st deadline. Now, for those of you who didn't make the November 1st deadline, let's talk. There are a couple of Florida schools that are giving you until November 15th, and you'll still be eligible for your merit money. There's actually quite a few, and we'll probably go through those a little bit later in the show. But I do want to start with something and end with something every single show. And I'm going to call that my Fantastic Five. And here's why. There are a lot of you who think that applying to college has to be super difficult. Parents, students, kids, everyone. There's college consultants, there's college coordinators, there's all these websites, there's just all this stuff when it comes to applying to college. Well, guess what? Money Michelle is here for you. I have narrowed it down to the Fantastic Five. And I'm going to give them to you right here today, really quickly. And then again at the end of the show, because we know you're probably coming and going. It's Saturday afternoon. You're recuperating from Friday night and getting ready for Saturday again. All right, so the Fantastic Five, real quick. First one, a fee waiver. Second one, fill out the Common App. Third one, forward your test scores. Fourth, find your counselor to send your transcripts. And number five, FAFSA, 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 and FAFSA. So I'll break those all down really slowly, just in case you want to hear exactly what they all mean. First of all, a fee waiver. Every single application typically costs anywhere from $30 to $50 to $70. Every single school charges a different amount of money to apply. So guess what a fee waiver does? It makes it so that every single application you apply to on the Common App is completely free. Yes, I said that. All those $30 application fees, $35 application fees, $50 application fees, they're now waived. They are free on the Common App with a fee waiver. So, Money Michelle, how do you get one of these mysterious fee waivers? Well, first and foremost, you have to fill out the paperwork for free and reduced lunch. So if you are listening to me and you have ever been eligible, your student has ever been eligible, anyone in your family has ever been eligible for the free and reduced lunch at their school, and it's so important, moms, dads, whoever does that paperwork. Maybe you're at a school now where the whole school is free and reduced lunch, so you figured, I'm not going to worry about filling out that paperwork. Wrong. You still have to fill out the free and reduced lunch paperwork because that is your senior's fee waiver. That is the way that your senior student will be able to apply to whatever school they want to on the Common App completely for free. I've talked about the fee waiver over and over again. I am hoping that if you don't learn anything else today about the Fantastic Five, that you will at least know number one. Find out if you have a fee waiver. The other reason why the fee waiver is so important has to do with one of our steps in the Fantastic Five. For every single school that you're going to apply to, not only you're going to have to pay for it, so the fee waiver will cover that, but you will also have to send your test scores. Transcripts are free already, but you're going to have to send your test scores. So we know this organization called College Board, or we know the other organization called ACT.org. Well, they want their money. every single test score that you need to send can cost anywhere from 15, I think, on College Board, around maybe 20 on ACT. So the fee waiver, guess what that does as well? It makes it so that your test scores can now be sent to every single school you want to for free. Now, you're probably saying, okay, well, Money Michelle, the test scores are already sent for free. Nah, they're not. I'm really realizing a whole lot of people have this brilliant idea of, well, I want to see what my score is before I send it. No, that's not a good idea, because then you have to pay for each test score. Now, if you do, when you're applying to take the ACT or applying to take the SAT, if you do select your schools in advance, then yes, you do get 4 free schools through the College Board for the SAT. Maybe you want to apply to more than just 4 schools. Maybe, like a lot of folks out there, you didn't bother to pick any schools to send the score to. Maybe you took the SAT in class in school during the in-school SAT, and you didn't bother to put any places to send the score to. Y'all know you're out there. And your mamas, you need to ask your kids about that in-school SAT, because it happened. It happened in October, at least for Florida, Hillsborough County, Pinellas County. I know for a fact it happened in October. The test scores are back, and you need to ask your senior, where did they send the test scores? If they don't know, this is where the fee waiver comes into play. Because with the fee waiver, they can now go into their College Board account, put in their fee waiver, and send every single school that they want to their score for free. So I think I've talked extensively about the first of the Fantastic Five. And I'm going to be breaking this down. I'm going to go really slowly today, because I know my big thing has been the November 1st deadline. I was talking to my friend Melanie. I was about to just literally spontaneously combust over this November 1st deadline, because it is so incredibly important for merit money. It's like the Super Bowl of college applications, November 1st deadline, which, it's over with now. So wish you would have been watching the show a couple weeks ago. But in any case, there's still hope. I want you to at least know now how to do things for those of you who still are going to apply to college. There's definitely still hope for financial aid. There are probably some scholarship. I know that there's still scholarships out there as well, but the November 1st gave you the most opportunity to get the most money from most schools. But anyway, I went off on a tangent. Sorry about that. I was talking about the first Fantastic Five, which is the fee waiver. I think I've covered that. You are on free and reduced lunch. If you are on free and reduced lunch, you are eligible for the fee waiver. How do you get it? You have to fill out the paperwork for free and reduced lunch. Money Michelle, where's the paperwork? I don't know how to do it. Okay, what school district are you in? I don't know what everyone's school district is out there, but whatever school district you're in, you're going to have to go to that school district's website and type in free lunch. Google it, your school district, free lunch. It will give you the steps of what you need to do to be able to find how to apply for free and reduced lunch to get your fee waiver. It's not just about food. Maybe you're thinking, well, my kid doesn't really eat lunch at school. Well, you still need to fill that out in order to get the fee waiver. All right. So now, I think we're moving around here. We're moving the camera. Do you need me to move? You need me to stay still? What we got going on here? It's okay. Do what you got to do. Remember, this is all my opinion. I am just a mom, and we are making it through this show mainly just to provide you information completely for free. So will we have some technical difficulties? You bet, because that's kind of what you get when you're doing stuff for free. We're doing the best that we absolutely can. So you need to do anything, or you good?
I can just scoot.
Scoot back, scoot up.
Oh, I just need this to be turned over just a little bit.
All right. Well, do whatever you got to do.
Right.
We got a whole hour. I hope you all are enjoying watching this show. It is literally being created right here in front of you. It all got started really just from my son. I was able to be blessed enough to get him a lot of scholarships. I worked with a lot of his friends who got scholarships, and people started asking me questions. And I said, well, you know what? If some people want to know, why not? My background is television. So I figured, hey, why not get a radio show and answer all these questions at the same time? But you got to deal with the technical difficulties when that happens. Are we good?
Yes, ma'am.
All righty. Sounds good. Okay. So we covered the first Fantastic Five, the fee waiver. Now, that fee waiver, okay, well, I will say this about the fee waiver. There's some of you out there, you don't qualify for free and reduced lunch. So you probably think, well, shoot, I can't get a fee waiver. That's not necessarily true. College is a business. When you go in to buy a car, do you pay full price? Probably not. So it's all about a negotiation. A lot of times, if you go on a college visit, they may give you a fee waiver. And a college visit doesn't have to mean you physically go up to see the college. It could be the colleges coming into the school that you go to. I know a lot of high schools, especially Robinson High School, has a lot of colleges. They come to the school and students can visit. They sign up. They can go visit and talk to admissions counselors. Well, guess what? When you go and talk to those counselors and you attend their admissions events, a lot of times they will issue you a fee waiver specifically for that school. There's also some times where you can call them and ask for a fee waiver. Sometimes on the website, there's a link where you can send an email and see if you can get a fee waiver. I just want you to understand fee waivers exist. They are a real thing. Sure, maybe they only save $30, but that's 30 more bucks that you don't have to spend. And a lot of applications are a lot more than that. I want to say University of Miami, that one might have been like $70. I mean, some of these applications are up there. Okay. What's the first one of the Fantastic Five? Somebody shout it out. Fee waiver, right? You got that? Okay. The second Fantastic Five, filling out the Common App. I've talked extensively about the Common App in the last couple of shows. Once again, I will go through it, of course, over and over and over again, every single show, whenever you want to know. But for this particular moment, you should know about it. If you don't, call in. Oh, yeah, I forgot to give the phone number. Can they see it?
Oh, yeah, yes.
What's the number? Because I can't see it.
813 444
444
9588.
9588. So 813-444-9588. Remember, I'm all about answering your questions. Totally non-scripted show. Don't really have many plans. So hope that you want to go ahead and call in and just chit chat. I've got an email that I got last week, so I'm super excited to talk about that in a little bit. But back to the Fantastic Five. First one, fee waiver. Second one, fill out the Common App. Now, like I said, with the Common App, you set up your account, you add your schools, you put in all of the information for the Common App, then you go through each school, put in all the information for each school, review it, submit it, and either you have your fee waiver or you have to pay, one or the other. And inside the Common App, there's actually a little box that you would click that says you have a fee waiver. If you don't have one, you can't use it, because when you check yes, it goes right to your counselor, and your counselor then has to check if you have free or reduced lunch. So my suggestion is tell the truth or fill out the paperwork for free and reduced lunch. Don't think you can just skate through by clicking that button. That is not true. What happens, because I know people who've done that, is yeah, sure. You click, you have a fee waiver, even though you really don't. It lets you submit your application. Then the school emails you and says, your application is not complete because you need to pay. Moral of the story here is, if you have a fee waiver, use it. If you don't, you need to pay for your application on the Common App. All right, so first, fee waiver of the Fantastic Five. Second, fill out the Common App. Third, now this is another one that involves the fee waiver. You're going to have to forward your test scores. Now, what test scores? ACT, SAT. Here in Florida, we have this new thing called the CLT. Whatever it is that you took, you're going to need to forward those scores to every single school you are applying to every time you take the test. Let me say that again. And I am repeating these things over and over again because I've been through this with a lot of kids, and it's amazing what they don't know. I had someone ask me, do they need to push submit? So I'm just going to go really slow today and make sure everyone understands the Fantastic Five basic steps of applying to college. All right, so I was at forward your test scores because what I find is that kids don't send their test scores. They fall into the, well, I don't know what I'm going to get, so I don't want to send it. Well, then that's when you end up having to pay to send the scores. Best case scenario, you pick the schools that you think you're going to apply to, like your most favorite schools, top 4 schools, and you send those scores before you take the test. You've got to register for the SAT, you have to register for the ACT, you have to register for the CLT. When you are registering, one of the things that you have to do, or what you should do, it's optional, which is such a dumb word because anything optional is not optional. It's just a trick question. So when you are registering for those tests, it asks, where do you want to send your scores? Put in the schools. Even if you are only going to apply to one school, just put in 3 backups. But send the score, send the score, send the score. Money Michelle, I didn't send my scores. What do I do now? Well, now you got to pay if you don't have a fee waiver. But what I need for you to understand is you have to send all the scores. That's also very important. You want to make sure that you go into your College Board account and you send all of the scores. You can click all scores and then it should automatically send them all. But you have to make sure that every school gets all your scores. The reason why, because you might be thinking, well, some of my scores suck. Well, if they suck totally, like they're way worse than anything, because maybe you took it, I don't know, 9th, 10th grade. Okay, sure, I can see maybe not sending those scores. But you want to be able to send, because if you're sending them in advance, you don't know what the score is. So that's why you want to click all scores, so that you can be eligible for the super score. This is another thing that I find people don't really understand. Let's say you get, I don't know, 600 in reading, and then you get 700 in math, and then you take it again and you get a 500 in reading, and you get 650 in math. Well, they're only going to take the 2 highest areas. So let's say you got the 500 first and you got the 600. Well, then they're going to take that 600. And if your math score was higher the last test or it's higher the next test, they're going to take, and I mean the schools, and especially Bright Futures, for those of you here in Florida, they super score, where they combine your test scores out of the best scores that you have. That's why it's so important to send your scores, all of them, to all of the schools that you're applying to. Now, yes, are there some schools out there that don't super score? Sure. But there's more schools that do super score. So that's why it's so very, very important to forward your test scores. All right. Fantastic Five. First one. Who's out there? Somebody's out there. Say it for me. Say it with feeling. What's that first one? Fee waiver. Number 2. The second one of the Fantastic Five. Fill out the Common App. The third one, forward your test scores. And that's a big hint. If you haven't taken a test, you might want to get on that. There's this other thing. Remember I said the word optional? Oh, my school is test optional. I told you optional is not true. It is a trick question. Anything that's optional really should say highly suggested. It's not required, it's optional, but it should say highly suggested. So let's say you're applying to schools that are test optional. Well, that may be well and good, and you may be able to get into the school based off of more of a holistic application, which is great. But let's just say there's a person A and person B, and y'all are exactly the same. Person A, they didn't send in test scores because it was optional. Person B, they sent in scores. Who do you think they could really pick if your everything else is the same? Now, none of us, no one, except for the school people in admissions, no one knows how schools decide who they want to admit. But I know from just being a mom, optional is not optional in the Blaylock household. That's my last name, Money Michelle Ragland Blaylock. And you can ask Robbie and Blayland all day long if anything is actually optional. No. And you can start that at a very young age because teachers, they give extra credit that's optional in elementary school. It ain't optional. Nothing should be optional. Highly suggested is what that really means. Okay, so I don't even know where I stopped off at. I know we did fee waiver, we did fill out the Common App, we're on forward your test scores. Okay, we were talking about test optional schools and why it's important to still send your test scores. The other reason why it's important is because of scholarships. There are a lot of schools that are test optional and they will admit students. But then when you get into their merit money or when you get into other scholarships from private scholarships, private organizations from all over different places, what's the first thing they want to know? Your test score. So, that's what I was saying. If you haven't taken the test because you think you're going to a test optional school, think again. Take the test. There are plenty more ACT test dates open. There are plenty more SAT test dates open. There are a lot of scholarships out there, private scholarships, even some merit money for some schools. Remember, I said November 1st deadline was a way to maximize your merit money, but there's still money out there, but you need to take the test. Okay, so number 1 of the Fantastic 5, fee waiver. Number 2, fill out the Common App. Number 3, forward your test scores. Ready to move on to number 4? Find your counselor. Now you're thinking, what does a counselor need to do? They have to send your transcript because, again, just like you have to do an application for every single school, just like you have to forward your test scores to every single school, you also have to send your transcript to every single school. Now, fortunately, sending your transcripts, that is at least free when you're in high school. Now, you mess around and graduate, they might charge you. Not sure. But anyway, I say to find your counselor because every single school is different. It's real. Even within the same counties, schools can be different. I know that one school you have to go into the school and ask for a transcript to be sent. You go in person. Sometimes you fill out a paper. Some schools, they have a system called Naviance where you have to log into Naviance, set up your account, fill out the paperwork. Well, not paperwork because it's electronic, but fill out the electronic form through Naviance to get your transcripts sent. So I know a lot of you are out there. You're not in Florida. You're in other places. I can't wait to shout out to my buddy that emailed me in North Carolina. I'm so excited. Anyway, okay. So that's why I say find your counselor for my 4th of the Fantastic 5. Now, if you're a senior and you don't know who your counselor is, that's a daggone shame. If you are a mama or a daddy or an auntie or a grandmama and you have a senior in high school and you don't know their counselor's name, that's a daggone shame. So, hopefully, at this particular point in time, you already know how to find your counselor. If you don't, I don't even want you to watch the show no more. I want you to get off the computer, phone, and Google forward, click on something, and find your child's counselor if they are a senior. You literally need to do that right now. And the reason why that is so important, because your counselor is like one of the first steps of applying to college. They have to go in, send your transcripts, approve your fee waiver. There's some schools that have back-end work for counselors to do. If your counselor has no clue who you are, that's not good. You want to be able to know your counselors, and your counselors should be able to know you if you've at least just gone to say hello, just maybe bring a little Starbucks card if you can. Do something nice for your counselors before senior year because trust me, you are going to need them. And I will never forget, I had a counselor, you know, we all tend to wait till the last minute. Students, moms, kids, dad, everybody. Everybody waits till the last minute. So it was the last minute on some scholarship. Well, the counselor was out of town, but we needed a recommendation. The counselor was on vacation, pulled over. I think they were driving or something, went to a public library just to email my son the recommendation that he needed. She was on vacation. Why did she do that? Because we'd made a relationship with her. So that's why I'm saying it's part of that Fantastic Five. It's not just send your transcript, it's find your counselor. They do so much more on the back end. You would never believe how much it is that they actually do. So that Fantastic Five, point number 4, you need to find your counselor if you're a freshman in high school. If you are in high school, if you have a child in high school, grandchild, anybody that you know is in high school, you should ask them, who's your counselor? And if they don't give you a name, then that needs to be something that they know and find out. So the next time you see them, you ask them, who's your counselor? Just basic going to college 101. You got to know who your counselor is in high school, okay? Okay, Fantastic Five. First one, fee waiver. Second one, fill out the Common App. Third one, forward your test scores. Fourth one, find your counselor so they can send your transcript. Your counselor also has to approve your fee waiver. Your counselor also does some sort of back-end recommendation things for a lot of different schools when you apply to the Common App. A lot of things just automatically go through the counselor. So you got to find your counselor. Now, Money Michelle, you may be saying, okay, that's only 4. What is the 5th one? Just like I was about to spontaneously combust over the November 1st deadline, FAFSA is going to absolutely, completely drive me crazy. There are so many of you out there that either A, don't know about the FAFSA, which now you do because I just told you. B, think that you shouldn't fill out the FAFSA because you make too much money. Well, that's not true. Or C, you just don't know how to do it. That's at least understandable. And I'm going to help you through that. Not today, because the FAFSA is not open yet. Normally, the FAFSA opens in October. Well, this year, it's actually being redone. And you could, if you want to find out more information about it now, you can Google Better FAFSA. And it's supposed to be a lot easier. There's going to definitely be some changes in regards to who will qualify for the Pell Grant, what income is going to matter, what parent will matter. So there's a lot of changes. I don't care what the changes are, fill out the FAFSA. Here's why. Who am I? Money Michelle. What am I all about? Navigating you to nuggets of information worth thousands of dollars. You fill out the FAFSA just in case you might qualify for some money. You fill out the FAFSA because a lot of the little bitty red tape, little bitty end of sentences, little bitty stuff in scholarships that you might not see says if you fill out the FAFSA or once you fill out the FAFSA. So there are some of you out there, you're eligible for the Pell Grant. Do you know that there are millions? Everyone always hears there's millions of dollars of scholarship money left on the table. There's millions of dollars. The reason why is because people don't fill out the FAFSA. So it hasn't come out yet. It doesn't open up until December. So I'm not going to really harp on that real bad right now. But know this. There will be several FAFSA shows coming up as soon as that bad boy gets open, which the predicted or estimated time frame, it's supposed to open in December. So it is coming soon. I would advise that as soon as it opens up, you figure out how to do that FAFSA immediately. Don't, if it opens in December, okay, yeah, maybe let it open up and kind of get all the kinks out. But in January, you need to jump on doing your FAFSA. If you do not know how, if you don't know what it is, if you've never heard of it, that is what I'm here for. Now, am I going to be able to tell you every piece of tax stuff? No. But am I going to at least be able to point you in the right direction, show you the resources, tell you about the financial aid nights? Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, your county, wherever you are, schools, school districts, community-based organizations, all of them have FAFSA nights. Because I'm not going to lie, it's a little hard. It ain't no walk around the park, but it is achievable. You are going to need your tax information. You are going to need some time. You're going to need potentially both parents. If you don't have parents, you're going to have to know your status of being independent. There's a lot of nuances when it comes to the FAFSA. So that's why so many organizations have FAFSA night, financial aid night. Just go to them. They're going to be there literally to hold your hand and walk you through the thing. Schools want it done. School districts want it done. There's actual statewide competitions that measure what school districts have the most students and families completing the FAFSA. It is a big, big deal. Why on earth would anyone want to leave money on the table simply because they didn't fill out the FAFSA? Here's the other thing. Now, this is what, it's literally mind-boggling to me. I know y'all are probably like, how is she sitting up here talking to herself? Because it literally is this is therapy for me, because I don't understand why people don't fill out the FAFSA. Do you realize that the community colleges that are out there are not that expensive? Most of the Pell Grant. So once again, the Pell Grant, if you're eligible for free and reduced lunch, you more than likely will be eligible for some portion of the Pell Grant. A Pell Grant can completely cover community college here in Florida. Now, everywhere else out there, I don't know how much it costs. But here in the state of Florida, your Pell Grant, especially in Hillsborough County and Pinellas County, if you get the Pell Grant, it is going to cover at least 2 years of an education. So that's an associate's degree that you'll be able to get to immediately be able to start working, or it's a certification you can get. Or for those of you who are like, I'm going to college, I want to do something technical. That's fine. I am all for that. I am not about to sit up here and argue that college is for everyone, because it is not. But what is for everyone is the FAFSA, because you want to go to technical school, or you may decide, maybe I don't like this job and maybe I do want to go back to school. So you want to have the FAFSA already filled out. I love the fact that it's around $7,000, the full Pell Grant. Not everyone can get that. Some of us can't get any of it. But again, it's not just tied to the Pell Grant. The FAFSA is tied to merit money. The FAFSA is tied to other scholarships. The FAFSA, remember when I said something about fee waivers and colleges just sort of giving, there's some schools, and when this happened, some school just randomly gave every student that filled out the FAFSA like $200, just like a thank you for filling out the FAFSA. It is just something you need to do. No questions asked. Really, everything on here is something you need to do. That's why I'm calling it my Fantastic Five. But out of all of them, please do the FAFSA. It's not open. I know. It's not open, but it is going to be open next month. And I will have guests on here. I will hopefully have someone who will be able to walk us through one. I am definitely going to be taking phone calls. My goal is to really help anyone out there who is listening to this show, on this broadcast, watching me on YouTube, however in the world you're finding out this information. I want to make sure you, your student, your family member, whoever it is, I want to make sure they fill out the FAFSA. Okay. That's a lot. but not really, because everyone is saying going to school is so hard. The college process is so hard. Well, literally in 30 minutes, I just narrowed it down to the Fantastic Five. It's 5 steps. That's it. Now, I will say, if you have no idea where you want to go to school, okay, yeah, you got a few more steps. But once you have some sort of an indication or sort of a clue as to where you want to go to school, it's the Fantastic 5 steps. And I'll talk more in just a little while about how to get ready for the Fantastic Five, because you are going to need to have somewhat of a clue as to where you want to go. You don't have to declare a major. There are schools out there like Yale, you don't even declare a major until like your second or third year there. So declaring a major is definitely not the most important thing. Don't let the fact that you don't know what you want to do hold you back. A lot of people don't know what they want to do. A lot of people think they know what they want to do and discover they don't know what they want to do. So please, if you're listening and you don't know what you want to do, but you do know you want to go to school, then do the Fantastic Five. All right. We couldn't talk about college without a test, right? Fantastic Five. First one, fee waiver. Number 2, fill out the Common App. Number 3, forward your test scores. Number 4, find your counselor so they can forward your transcript. And number 5, FAFSA, 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 FAFSA. That's number 5. If there are any questions, give me my phone number again, 813 444 9588. One of these days I'm going to get that number memorized. I think you can see it, though. I'm not sure because I can't see it. I don't know what I'm looking at. But anyway. Oh, he's going to show it to me?
Yes.
Okay. I think everybody can. As long as you can see it, though, we're good. So now it's time for my email. I received my very first email. My email address is moneymichelle03. Oh, here it is. Yeah, see, it's like in this blue and white. I can sort of see the phone number. Okay, 813-444-9588. So hopefully you can see it. 813-444-9588. I'd love to hear from students, parents, any kind of question you may have about college applications, applying to school, picking a school, deciding a major, whatever it is you got. Just give me a call. If I don't know the answer, then we'll sit here and Google it together. Or I'll figure out a way to help you find it out. All right. So, oops, what did I just do there? My email address, moneymichelle03@gmail. MONEYMICHELLE03@gmail.com. Because I know maybe you don't want to call in. Maybe you'd rather just email me and we go from there. So, big shout out to Jeff. I'm so excited. He says, my name is Jeff. I stumbled upon one of your sessions a couple Saturdays ago. Wanted to follow up. He wants me to point him and his son in the right direction to any promising scholarship resources having to do with FAMU. Now, it looks like Jeff's son, Ethan, is already at FAMU, but they live in Cary, North Carolina. So they're looking for ways to defray the out-of-state tuition cost. They did complete the FAFSA, but of course, to their surprise and disappointment, did not qualify for any financial aid. If possible, we prefer not to take out any student loans. I don't want you to take out student loans either. So any scholarship information that you can provide would be greatly appreciated. Thanks in advance for your attention to the matter. And here's what I responded. First and foremost, I was so excited. I was just really thankful to have someone email me because this is what I want to do. I just want to help people out and not have to worry about charging them any money. Definitely, for those of you who do charge money, it is certainly worth it to be a college consultant. It is very well needed, but I want to talk to the people who just don't have the money to do that. All right, so I asked them first and foremost, because they were talking about FAMU, and FAMU is what's called a land grant institution. So they have money for people who want to major in agriculture, And there are many, many different facets of agriculture. We're going to have a whole show about that some other time. So the first thing I asked him, I said, is he willing to look into changing majors to an agricultural major? FAMU is a recipient of a huge land grant. They're giving scholarships for students who are interested in agribusiness and, of course, other areas having to do with agriculture. The other thing that we haven't talked about, UNCF. There are a ton of the United Negro College Fund scholarships, uncf.org. So those are two suggestions that I have for him. The other one, did you know that just because you're already in school, you may think you don't have any more scholarships from the school? That's not true. There are scholarships even for second, third, fourth year students through your major that you may be able to qualify for. So I have a friend of mine whose son finished up at FAM, and he was in building and construction. They would always have different businesses coming in to talk to students, and guess what they would do? They would give students scholarships. So the money is definitely out there. You just have to be willing to look for it through your major, through your school. Once again, UNCF, I mean, when I logged onto their site and saw the plethora of scholarships that they have, it's more scholarships on the UNCF website than I could ever go through. And I'm hoping we'll be able to have a UNCF representative. I got to figure out how to find them, the one for Tampa Bay area. But that is one resource. Once again, going back into the school, looking at maybe if you change your major, is there scholarship money out there? Going into the school for looking for their private scholarships. I know that UCF has a whole list of scholarships for second year students, third year students. Guess what they have to do though? Still within the Fantastic Five, they have to fill out the FAFSA. So Mr. Jeff, thank you so much for your email. I hope that this was helpful. I know that, you know, if it is your son's third or fourth year, he probably doesn't want to change majors. But if it is just his second year, he may want to look into changing majors. But the most important thing he needs to do, log on to uncf.org. Also find out about the second and third year scholarships that are available at FAM. And also you are able to just find out what other private scholarships are out there for students who are already in college. So plenty of things still available for you out there, even if you're already in college. In fact, there's almost just as much money out there for students who are in college as for students who this is their first time in college. All right, so next up, super excited about that email. Again, you can email me, you can call me. This is an interactive show. Right now I'm just interacting with myself, but that's okay. One day it's going to catch on. Okay, so let's move on to a little bit about resources. So you can't see my screen today, but it's okay. I was talking about the College Board and the SAT and even the PSAT. So here's what I need you to know. It's out there. Your kids took it in school. So how do you get to it? How do you actually get into College Board to find the score? This isn't like the FAST test or the FSA or them other tests where they just send you the scores. This is one where you have to actually go into College Board, create an account. It's collegeboard.org, collegeboard.org. And I'm actually going to be referring to a document that my daughter's school sent out. It's very simple, how to create a student College Board account. Log in. There's going to be, I don't know, some blue letters that say sign up. It's really, really simple. And there's a little catch to it. I'll go through that in a second. When you sign up, they're going to click on I'm a student. Then you're going to be able to create the account. Very simple, easy stuff. Now, what can make this difficult is if you need to do it with your child, because your child put some information on the paper at school. When you're setting up the account, you need to use that same information. So They were supposed to enter their full legal first name and then their full legal last name. So you need to make sure that whatever name they use, because you got crazy parents out there like me. I'm not just talking about y'all. I'm talking about my own self. My daughter's name is ridiculous. It's like 15 different names. My name is ridiculous. It's Delmaria Michelle Ragland Blaylock. Why I thought that was a good idea to then do to my own child, Blayland Asha Michelle Blaylock, I have no clue. But we all know black folks and names, so you got to make sure you put the correct one when you're setting up the College Board account. Speaking of us and names, and back to the FAFSA, it is very important for you to, whatever documents you start creating, they all need to be what is on your Social Security card. So whatever's on that Social Security card, you just need to get used to it now. Make sure that's what you're putting on all these documents. But if your kid already put something, then you need your College Board account to match. All right, so now the students have the opportunity to pretty much use any email address. You've got to make sure that when you're setting up the account, once again, the email address matches. You are not, and I'm hoping the school told them this. I know for my daughter, it worked out great. Thank the Lord. She was able to, she's so nosy. She wanted to know before I knew, so she set up her own account. But anyway, when you're setting up your College Board account, you need to use a personal email. So you should not use your school email, because what if you change schools and you don't have access to that email anymore? What about when you graduate? You need to be able to use an email address that will always be your email address. And it shouldn't be something like Snooky number 2. It needs to be something that makes sense. Okay. So, if you have a Pookie503 at Gmail, or you got Skateboy902, whatever it is, if it's crazy, get a professional Gmail account. So, 2 things you need to ask your kids right now. 1, what's their counselor's name? 2, what email address are they using for college? Because you want to keep all of that uniform. All right, so back to, for my first time people setting up their College Board account, because my daughter's only in 8th grade, so she took the PSAT for 8th graders last month. The scores are back. She set up her account. So if you're just tuning in, you want to know how to set up your College Board account to see your kids' scores, because if you are in Hillsborough County, I guarantee you there are some scores in the College Board account. You're going to have to set up the account to find out what the scores are. Go to collegeboard.org, click on sign up, put in the name, put in the email address, put in the estimated graduation month or year. So this is just an estimate of when they're going to graduate from high school. Once again, make sure it matches whatever the heck your kid put. Zip code, the school name where you took the test. There's also a phone number, because anything can happen, especially when you're talking about kids that did something at school and now you're trying to translate it into something at home. There is a helpline. The phone number is 866-756-7346. So call for help. The SAT, College Board actually has some pretty decent customer service. I've had to call them a couple of times, especially when you're dealing with names and them matching. So call the SAT hotline. I'll look it up in a little bit, but you really can Google SAT helpline. Or when you're setting up the account, you could use 866-756-7346. Okay. Then you, of course, are going to create your username and your password. You need to pick a security question. Hopefully, again, something that you remember. Hopefully, it's something your child remembered. And then you're going to click Next. Make sure everything is complete. And then click Confirm. Now, you have set up your very first College Board account. Will you need this password and username again? Yeah, you will. So I'm telling you right now, I told Blayland this, that's my daughter, you better make sure you know your username and your password, because what you don't want to do when you have to take the thing again next year, you don't want to go make up another one and do another email and you need to keep it uniform. So whatever in the world they picked, hopefully it wasn't anything crazy for email, but in any case, just we're going to have to just keep it uniform. But in the future, or if it's not too late, try to get just a nice, plain, professional Gmail account. But whatever. Make sure you keep your username and password. You can always change your password too, but make sure you know how to get into your College Board account because you're going to need it every year from here on out. So, once you get into the College Board, hers says, "Hi, Blaylen," and I can click on my SAT. Now, of course, she's only in 8th grade, so she doesn't have specifically SAT scores out there. But I just want to take you through all of the different resources that are available through College Board. And let me go back here and refresh this thing. There we go. All right. So I clicked on, I'm going to go back to the top. Once I created her account, then you can click on my SAT, and it's going to take you to a way to register for the actual SAT. Just because you took it in school, now I'm back to talking to my high school kids, just because you took it in school does not mean you can't take it again, especially if you have a fee waiver. It's still going to be free. If you have a fee waiver, you're going to get 2 free SAT tests. So that means for many school districts, they give you the PSAT, freshman, sophomore, junior year. They may give you the SAT at the end of the junior year and then your SAT again your senior year. If you have a fee waiver, you can still take the test 2 more times for free. That's why it's so important to set up your College Board account as soon as you get one. All right, so her account is set up. First thing it says, "Hello, Blaylen. Manage your test registrations and scores. Register for the SAT." Okay, well, she's only 14 in 8th grade, so we don't exactly need to do that right this second. And I'll probably show you more of this stuff at a time when we actually have my screen up. So I'm going to talk through what all is in College Board. You have, of course, where you manage your SAT, you register for the SAT, you have your PSAT, NMSQT, PSA 10, PSAT 8, and 9. What in the world is the NMSQT? Well, that's the National Merit Scholars Qualifying Test. Whew, that's a big one. Now, that's for those of you out there who are super, super, super smart, which is a good thing. I want you to know it exists. It is extremely, extremely high. But there are some of you out there, you already know, little Johnny out there, he is smart as who knows what. But nobody's told him about these things. Once again, they say the test is optional. If you're real smart, that test is not optional. Go to school that day. Do the very best that you can. Even if you're not real smart, still go to school that day and do the best that you can. PSAT, SAT, the tests cost money. So why in the world would you not take it completely for free when they offer it in school? It's free. And it's really not free. It's free to the kids. The school district is paying for these tests. So you should utilize the free resource that is provided to you that the school district is actually paying for. And it can start as soon as 8th grade. 8th grade. So Money Michelle and College Cash, not just for high school seniors. I am going to be navigating you to nuggets of information worth thousands of dollars for all students. Okay? Now, the other thing that's going to be in your College Board account, your AP scores. So if you have students who are in AP classes and you're wondering where are those AP scores, well, they're in your College Board account. The other thing that I want to go through, and once again, in more detail when we have my screen up, Big Future. So within your College Board account, there's the My Big Future dashboard. I think I talked about this a little bit one of the other shows. And we only have about 8 minutes left, so I'm not going to really go into extreme detail in it. But I love the fact that, back to those of you who have no idea what you want to do, you are able to explore careers. You can plan for college. You can learn how to pay for college. You can find out where you have community events. And this all can be housed for you within your College Board account. So I love the fact that as early as 8th grade, Blaylen can go in here now and start exploring careers. Okay, well, you're 8th grader. What in the world? You don't even know what a career is, barely. Well, guess what they have? A career search. So you click on that. This gives you 923 different careers that just pop up. Okay, so that's a way you really truly have no idea what you want to be. Go into that free resource of your College Board account. Maybe you've never heard of an actuary. Well, they make $113,000. That's their median yearly income. And I actually know somebody who majored in that in FAMU. Is getting ready to graduate and make really, really good money. You're trying to figure out, what does an actuary do? I can barely even say the word. Well, guess what? It analyzes statistical data such as mortality, accident, sickness, disability, and retirement rates, and construct probability tables to forecast risk and liability. So basically, and it goes from A to Z, 923 different careers. All right, you're like, Michelle, that's way too much stuff to look at. Okay, so we'll narrow the stuff down a little bit. They have a career quiz. And again, we're on College Board. We are talking about the reason why you need to set your account up now, no matter if you're in 8th grade, because you can do it as early as 8th grade if you've taken the PSAT. They have the career quiz, and it's a 15-minute quiz. So it's a super simple 15-minute quiz to get matched to careers based on your likes and your dislikes. Don't lie. Tell the truth. Okay? Don't try to answer the way you think somebody wants you to answer. If you hate reading, don't put that you like reading. If you hate math, don't put that you like math. Tell the complete and total truth on your career quizzes, because you want to be able to have things that are a good fit for you. And once you start telling the actual truth on your career quizzes, then you're going to start finding majors that you will be able to major in. Then once you find majors that you want to major in, you can help narrow down schools based on the majors that you find. So it's really important. If you're in 8th grade, 9th grade, you've got 3-4 years to play with your Big Future dashboard. And as your likes and dislikes change, or as you learn different things, then you can go in here and update it. It saves all of the information for you by creating your College Board account. And like I just said, planning for college. So you do your career test, then you can do a college quiz. Then it even has a tab for paying for college. What is the communities and event? Oh, my goodness. I forgot about this one. This has the Big Future Live. It has Real Talk for Black students. It has the Big Future Ambassador Program, National Recognition Programs. Oh, real quick, I want to click on that one really, really quickly, because this is this is another one a lot of people don't know about. It's the College Board National Recognition Programs. It's a proven way for Black, Indigenous, Latino, and rural area students to stand out to colleges. Why apply for the National Recognition Programs? Stand out, show you're a top student, explore your options. Now, how to qualify? Because, like I said, that National Merit Scholarship qualifying test, that thing's crazy. But for your national recognition programs for Latino, Hispanic, Black, African American, Native, Indigenous, or people attending high school in a rural area, it's a lot easier to be able to qualify. So that is something else that is in your Big Future account that can let you know how you're able to qualify. and more importantly, how you're able to find out about the notification. So here's a little bit of it. Starting as early as current sophomores in the class of 2025 and current juniors in the class of 2024, you may be eligible for recognition. You're going to need to have a 3.5 GPA, permanent address, identify as Black, African American, Latino, Hispanic, Indigenous, Native, or attend high school in a rural area or a small town. You must have taken the PSAT in 8th or 9th grade or had at least 2 AP exams. So there's, quite a few things that you need to do to qualify for the national recognition. Now, why is that important? Well, it's important because there are some schools that can give full scholarships, not just for the national merit scholars, but for the other recognition awards as well. There's a couple of different Florida schools. I've got to go back through my notes to find exactly what those schools are. But I learned about, for just the national recognition for Black, Hispanic, Latino students, some of the Florida schools will give you a lot of money because you've taken the time to fill out the paperwork that College Board sends you when you have a high enough score and a high enough GPA. So, forgot all about that little nugget of information. All right, it looks as though my time is up. As promised, I don't want anyone to ever leave this show confused. Maybe you just joining us. I got to always end with a fantastic 5. Number 1, fee waiver. Number 2, fill out the Common App. Number 3, forward your test scores. Number 4, find your counselor to get your transcripts sent. And number 5, I could probably say this until the show goes off. FAFSA, 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 FAFSA. Thank you so much for joining me, Money Michelle, on College Cash. Remember, it's all about the podcast keeping money in your pocket on your educational journey. Toodaloos!
Basement party, rim rocking as I stare at your body. Yes, I'm staring at you, girl. Oh, said I'm attracted to the way you sway. Anticipation pushes me to say, girl, love the way that you do your two-step. Only thing is me, I'll see you left. Just a clever way for me to say, dance with me, girl. Let me pull you just a little closer. Heart to fantasy, no sign. Getting lost within this moment, girl. Dance with me, it's for the love. The way that you move is making me feel. You got me feeling some kind of way. Yeah. The way that you move is making me feel. You got me feeling some kind of way.
Lights are low, the atmosphere is so damn beautiful. A reflection of you, boy. Yeah, you're hotter than July to me, cooler than an LA breeze. On this floor girl with every intention to have you sizing up my dimensions. Translation of my body language says, dance with me, dance with me. I wanna be dipped in your chocolate, so smooth, I'll just get lost in it. Time to let go, no more being cautious. Dance with me, dance with me.
The way that you move is making me feel. You got me feeling some kind of way. The way that you move is making me feel. You got me feeling some kind of way.
She likes the loving long, so I weave in it like an extension. She wanna show me, said all she needs is access. I gave her every key, even backstage passes. I cannot lie, why would I try to ever deny? Forever she's mine, forever she's mine, and I mean that. She found a way through my defense, with her and all of my secrets. I'm living better now, because she gives my life a little more reason. And all I am is because of her. It's a queen of mine, perfectly designed. Without even trying, her lips are rising, drive me crazy. She be building me up, then be loving me down. Such a naughty girl, but she's such a freaking lady. She's my good friend, she's my ocean. This lady adds to my fruition. She be building me up, then be loving me down. Such a naughty girl, but she's such a freaking lady. Is a queen of mine, perfectly designed. Without even trying, her lips, her eyes, they drive me crazy. She be building me up, then be loving me down. such a naughty girl, but she's such a freaking lady. Is a queen of mine, perfectly designed. Without even trying to lift her ass and drive me crazy. She keep building me up, then be loving me down. Such a naughty girl, but she's such a freaking lady. Oh, she's a queen of mine. She's a queen of mine. Perfectly designed. Perfectly designed. Deep end. She's my good friend, my lover. She's my ocean, my everything, yeah. My ocean, my everything, yeah. My ocean, my everything, yeah.
Oh my, 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 my. Oh my, 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 my. Mahogany princess, my queen, and ebony goddess. You look like you fell out of heaven, like you fell out of heaven. Twinkle, twinkle like a star you shine. That face, my God, that way, oh my God. Baby, every inch of you is by the skin. Intoxicating like liquor, sweet like honey when I kiss you. Tastes like cocoa in the center. Aphrodisiac, Afrocentric, exquisite. One dance I'm in your trance. Let's leave and make some plans. Ooh, it says a little ting ting. Please don't wake me up from dreaming. Just let me marvel over you. Your kiss by the sun.
love being number one. When your team's dominating the standings, or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
Dodging death in the 6-speed. Amphetamine got my stomach feeling sickly. I want it all now. I've been running through these girls, I need a dog pound. 100 models getting faded in a compound. Trying to love me, but they never get a pulse down. Cause I'm heartless, and I'm back to my ways, cause I'm heartless. All this money and this pain got me heartless. All life, cause I'm heartless. Said I'm heartless, trying to be a better man, but I'm heartless. Never be a wedding plan, but I'm heartless. No life, cause I'm heartless. Said I'm heartless, so much of it be falling out the pocket. Metro Boomin turn this place into a mosh pit. Test up on me flying like a cockpit. Yeah, I gotta watch it. Call me up, I'ma turn it to a faucet. Duffel bags full of then a rocket. Sticks drunk, but he never miss a target. Photo shoots, I'm a star now. I'm talking time, rolling stone and bazaar now. Selling dreams to these girls with they car